I am gonna do something revolutionary, insane, for a way of starting up the video, okay? I'm gonna try and think of something on the spot, and then fail to come up with something, and then the intro video will just come out. It'll be crazy. Watch this. Watch this. Can't think of anything, so, roll the intro.
Welcome, the Gamer Man's Lounge. Awaken to play.
But no, seriously, alright? Here's what's gonna happen. Welcome to the Waifus of Gaming, Traversare. Anyway, hopefully things are going well for you guys. As for me, things are going well for me. But hey, we got a Waifus of Gaming, Traversare. But this time, it's going to be very interesting, and I will brief you the very minute I come back from getting me something to drink. Alright, got me a lemonade. So, here we go. Now, for today's Waifus of Gaming Traversare, we're going to go to not just lengths, alright, but we're going to take to literally heights. That's right, we're going to heights. I came into this video very much prepared, so prepared that I forgot my own height. But don't worry, I managed to figure that out myself, as I remembered 5 foot 9 inches. That is my height. That's right. I did the measuring myself. I had to figure out through measuring tape, and I had to figure out through markings on a wall. So, yeah. But, hey, what is this episode about? What is this episode about? Throughout the history of Waifus of Gaming, we have covered waifus that carry milk, cake, and thigh. We covered waifus who are cute, waifus with lap pillow quality thighs, waifus who are cuddly, cute, waifus, beautiful waifus. But, however, we're here to focus on waifus that make us look up, but literally, because they're tall, okay? We're talking about fee-fi-fo-fum. Whoa, mommy. That's how interesting it's about to get. We're taking a look at waifus that are damn tall. Ever since Resident Evil Village came out in 2021, there was a debut of a certain villain, Lady Dimitrescu. However, we're not going to be doing Lady Dimitrescu, and I don't have Resident Evil Village. So, yeah, that's out the venue, so here you go. But, hold on, here's a huge hold on for a second. I know other waifus besides Lady Dimitrescu. Am I saying her name right? But you know what? Whatever. But there are taller waifus. So, many people want that fantasy of... Now, let's take a look at a PlayStation 2 game. Shadow of the Colossus. Alright, Shadow of the Colossus. But you want to basically fuck someone that's past your size. It's rewarding. It's rewarding to climb and cuddle or climb, cuddle, or cuddle fuck. Alright? Now, before you say something about Dark Souls, I am going to go ahead and say that in order for me to basically hop on Dark Souls and revisit, I would have to start over from the top. And this episode would take quite a long time, and that would include me getting my ass kicked from left and right. Yeah, I know, get good, but yeah, it is the way that it is. Shenanigans be my shenanigans. But anyway, with that totally said, Priscilla is definitely out of the picture. But let's start by talking about what got me inspired to do this episode in the first place. Well, it's simple. There was a certain playable character that was making her debut in Eversoul. And however, as she made her debut, I was lucky to get a hold of her. That was when, later down the line, I then realized about this character's height. And I was very shocked. So, yes, milky, caked up, thick-thighed, goddamn. Not only that, but she was way taller than me. And that is the thing. And if I remember right, I was told that I was 5 foot 8 inches. This was long before I had to measure my height again just now. Now being 5'9", definitely someone who I have to climb and snuggle. Or climb and cuddle fuck. And that's basically what inspired me to do this episode.
Let us take the time and observe the following waifu Daphne, a blacksmith countryside lady who wields a giant hammer, taking on tough jobs from left and right. This handy woman likes company and fears of failure. She is capable in combat, wielding the hammer as it can be used for combat as well. When it comes to dealing damage, we speak of multi-target AoE mayhem, especially when it comes to her ults. We observe that she is packed with milk cake and thighs. Not just the fact that we got a great midriff with extra large chest and thick thighs. Also, don't forget the cake, she is also adorably cute. Now that's what I like as well. It is also stated that in height she is 187 centimeters tall. Basically 6'2".
Okay, so things get more complicating than ever because when it comes to character height measurements, they're at most measured in centimeters most of the time. That's right, we're talking about centimeters, not feet and inches. So I would have to take my height, being 5'9", and have that converted into centimeters. However, how would I go about doing this? Maybe I could use that measuring tape again, and take advantage of it. And this is where I decide I'm going to go ahead and do it right now. Taking the tape measure, bringing it up to 5'9". Okay, here we go. 5'9". I see 5'9". Okay, 70. That's 1 meter. Okay, we have 1 meter. Okay, this is not looking very easy as I thought. Okay. Well, yeah, I see 5'9", and I see 74 in 1 meter. So 1 meter 74? 1 meter 74, what is it? Well, this is, wait a minute. So what if I were to completely convert meter into centimeters? Hold on. I'm going to go do something real quick. So this is where I'm going to go ahead and do things the old-fashioned way. Not going to go use any calculator sites to just do the work for me. And after using the converter in Google's search bar, I found out that 1 meter 74 centimeters ends up becoming 174 centimeters. Oh, wait a minute. It has been quite a long time since I decided to just cover centimeters, a meter, something. You know what? Actually, I think Katamari Damacy was like... Yeah, Katamari Damacy had a gameplay system that would eventually remind you if you're making a meter or something. Well, just... As someone who has played through Katamari Damacy, currently playing through We Love Katamari, and then played through Katamari Forever. Wow. So I've been thinking to myself, how can I put the comparison of heights between me and other waifus? How do I make my own chart? Which is what I decided to do. And, yeah, I'm in for quite the doozy. And, yeah, I made a chart that is gonna include the characters we'll probably cover, but it's gonna include the characters, we already covered. Say, for example, Mori from Ikacalypse, Those Who Brave the Cold, if I remember right. Her height is 176 in centimeters, bringing in a +2 difference between me and Mori in height, so that's right. tall horse girl, taller than me. Well, I did put together my height comparison chart, and it's going to have to be a work in progress as I'm working on the video. But I had to put the resolution at 4K resolution because my height comparison chart would be way too big as hell for 1080p resolution. So here it is, 4K resolution, and I'll zoom in here and then since, yeah, we got 1080p video. We could use the 1080p resolution to our advantage to zoom in. Now it's time for me to go ahead and bring up the height comparison chart in table format because I got me at 174 centimeter. Alright, now the difference between me and Daphne is a plus 13 centimeter difference that definitely had me put the resolution of my chart to 4K. So we're kind of seeing Daphne on top with 180 centimeters. It gets very interesting. We also have Mori from Ecocalypse, 176, I already covered her. Alright, 2 centimeter different. And Yoda from Outer Plane. That looks very interesting. 179 centimeters with a plus 5 difference between me and her. Alright. Looks like,
If such is the case that this golden nation called SF is ruled over by a big milky thick automaton mommy, then may we take the time and observe. This automaton who we know is Iota. She seems to have combat capabilities that can be dangerous, so best not to get her in her bad side. She is a multi-target focused unit, as she can cast protocols that can consist of laser beams and exploding opponents into smithereens. Yeah, don't fuck with her. Now, let's move on forward as we observe her shell. Now, don't get me wrong. Whoever made Iota really wanted to go hard on presentation. We are talking about an amazing presentation on midriff, but we also have an extra large chest and thick thighs. Her hips, as well, do not lie at all. They tell plenty the truth. And you will be shocked to then find out that she is currently on a traveling phase, as she is fascinated with discovering other lands and cultures. This exotic tall automaton with an Ara mommy shell, got an idea that is something you really can't fault. Think about it. Foreign relations. To some, more like foreign relationships, but anyway, let's keep right on going. Also such, that is the case that she would like to proceed with things as a pacifist, but when she feels her hands are tied, fear like, say, for example, Code Medjed. When you find her in a good mood, she at times can be really inviting for communication, though some of us viewers wish we would make direct contact with her, especially when it comes to skin. And thus brings us to an unsolved mystery when it comes to Iota. Can you fuck her? Well, I don't know the thing about when it comes to, like, having sex with androids. If you want my honest opinion here, you don't have to worry about pregnancy, so yeah.
and then I'll go ahead and finish off this chart talking about Regina. Now, Regina, 175 centimeters, a +1 difference, and Dahlia, a -3 difference with 171 centimeters. So this would be perfect where me and Regina would team up to dominate Dahlia. Me and Regina would basically team up, keeping her close and cuddling. Or cuddle fucking. You know, actually, me and Regina could basically, cuddle with Dahlia at the same time. A cuddle fuck sandwich. That's right. A cuddle fuck sandwich. However, while figuring out when it comes to the heights of waifus, there was one situation that I thought of. Do we have height measurements for Taimanins? And this leads into the can of worms that really ends up to open. Yeah, Action Taimanin has nothing when it comes to figuring out character heights. Nothing that I know of. However, how are people in the Taimanin Wiki getting the heights of these characters? Actually, how are we to pretty much get our hands on such information? Well, that's where the official Lilith website comes in. So going into the official website for Lilithsoft and digging into the website itself, you probably are going to need to be 18 and up. And yes, me being above the age of 18, I could pretty much essentially go in and dig around because they managed to find a character list. A list of their characters at their official website at Lilith. So that's very interesting. Unfortunately, I can't link you that page because reasons, but at least we know where to get started. But this is where I run into a dilemma. Yes, they do manage to pretty much carry the height measurements for the characters. But the problem here is that there's a time where they stopped doing that. Now, they got Rinko covered. They have Rinko's height. So they did add it in Rinko's height. They added in Asagi's height. Oh, they added in the bust, waist, hip measurements. That's nice. They got Igawa Sakura. They don't have any measurements, especially height measurements for Ingrid. They don't have that for Oboro. They don't have that for Asuka. Shizuru. They got Yukikaze's height. Nope. Definitely nothing for Snake Lady. Nothing for Kurenai. What the hell? Okay, they do get a height measurement for Shizuru. Wait. I thought they didn't have... Okay, 100... Okay, they got a height measurement for Shizuru. Not bad. Definitely... Okay, I had duplicates, but good thing I had duplicates on, so that way I could correct myself. So they got the height measurements for Shizuru, Yukikaze, Sakura, Asagi, and Rinko. So, upon digging around, the tallest would be none other than... And as I close off many... Oh yeah, Rinko beat Shizuru by 1 centimeter. So, with that totally said, we're basically going to be using the example of Rinko's height. Her height being 172 centimeters. So, in regards to my little height chart, unfortunately this height chart is going to be completely useless in this area. Unless things come up. Unless there is developments to it. Unless... the developers actually put the characters' heights somewhere when it comes to action timing in. But right now, we have yet to find such information officially through Lilith, and that would be... Well, I guess it's going to be the case that we're going to be without the chart. So, Rinko will have to be our example. So with that totally said, now how do we compare heights between each other? Well, we can do this much more easily using Action Taimanen's private theater. And, of course, this brings plenty of complications, especially when it comes to moving the models around. And because of those complications, we would have to keep the models standing still. So here I have Rinko up on the private theater, and I'm going to go ahead and find a character who appears to be taller as Rinko, and we're going to see how our comparison plan is going to work. And that totally said, let's get right on going. This is really quite the shocking discovery. So, am I tripping, or... Yeah, it's like Emily's mouth is like above the nose and mouth of Rinko. Now, I'm going to go ahead and, yeah, I just found out that Emily Simmons is essentially taller than Rinko. So this is a huge shocker. And yeah, it is crazy to say the least. So with that totally said, we can take out Rinko out of the picture. Well, as Emily surpassed Rinko in terms of height, we gotta figure out who can surpass Emily in height. And guess I might go ahead and try something real quick. And this might be very interesting. What? Oh, hello. So, I have Eleanor, and Eleanor is looking like it is... Okay, it is apparent. Okay, so, yeah, not just Emily surpassed Rinko in height, but Eleanor surpassed Rinko in height as well. And Eleanor, I managed to bring up the comparison between Rinko and Eleanor. Don't worry, I'm going to go put the visual aid in something a little more easier for the eyes in translation, something a little less scarring. So here, I found the answer to our questions. However, we don't know an exact number, but we do have a good visual idea. And with that totally said, the 3 tallest Taimanins as of right now, who's playable in Action Taimanin, of course, we have Rinko, Emily, and Eleanor, with the tallest being Eleanor surpassing Rinko and Emily in height. But Emily surpasses Rinko in height, but, however, Eleanor beats her in terms of height. So, with that totally said, Emily is definitely in between Rinko and Eleanor. So, that's quite the amazing discovery. You know, I'm really glad the answer to my burning questions have been essentially figured out and resolved. So, that totally said... Okay, well, I've been going at it for way too long, and I think I'm pretty much should stop right there. And with that totally said, that is all, and I will be looking forward to you in the next video. Peace out.